You've caused a lot of excitement out the past few days, Mr. Strong. Gotten a lot of people riled up.
This is only the beginning, Mr. Cladwell. The people have just begun to fight.
Keeping my daughter confined against her will. Is that how the people fight?
They fight by any means necessary.
The streets are still ours, Mr. Strong. Your people are just holed up in an underground sewer somewhere.
They'll be up.
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Cladwell. There's been a disturbance at amenity number 32. Number 15 as well. Word's begun to spread.
People have gathered and all the rest. They're waiting to see what young Bobby will do.
After he meets with you, of course.
Of course. Mr. McQueen. Do you remember the stink years, Mr. Strong? The first years when the water table started to drop, and then just kept on dropping. None of us thought we had much time back then, and many of us did. Questionable things, much like the things that are happening right now. There was the looting, of course, and the hoarding. Riots broke out like there was no tomorrow, for there was no tomorrow. But there is always a tomorrow if you're tough enough to cling to it. Which is why I've asked you here today. Some people see me as an evil man. But the truth is, I'm no more evil than you, or Miss Pennywise, or any of those poor people you insist on trying to lead. I'm only a simple man trying to cling to tomorrow, every day, by any means necessary.
What happens when the drought is over?
Over. We can always hope, I suppose. But until then, our regimen of controlling consumption through the regulating mechanism of cash must continue.
Yes. The regulating mechanism of cash.
Bobby, I want you to have this cash. And I want you to tell the people that the powers that be grant full amnesty to those involved in this week's criminal activities, as long as they're willing to return to the improved fee schedule as authorized by the legislature. Don't let it happen again, and have a good time in Rio.
So many tomorrows.
Yes.
But I'm afraid my conscience will cost you more than a pile of cash, Mr. Cladwell.
Bobby, it really is an awful lot of cash.
Free access is the only cash I'm interested in.
I thought we had an understanding, Bobby.
Well, then understand this. If there really is a way to that bright shining day, we'll find it together. All of us. Not just the wealthy few. And that means free access.
Free access is impossible.
Well, then that's what I'll tell the people.
Stop! We'll not return to the stink years, Mr. Strong. I'll not allow it.
Oh, well, what are you saying?
I've spent a lifetime building this company, paying off the police, bribing the political elite, and snuffing out popular resistance as if it were a naughty baby bunny in the palm of my hand. My right hand! I've centralized all power to a pinpoint spot right here between these two ears, and I'm not going to allow once, I can do it again. To Urinetown with him then. With all haste, Officer Lockstock. With all haste.
You lied to us, Gladwell! Gladwell! Gladwell!
Why did I listen to that man? Why did I listen to that nature of this man? When he talked, I should have walked, I should have walked, I should have ran. Why did I listen to that man?
You, get word to police headquarters. We'll need all hands on deck tonight. You, and you, come with me. We'll see about these little disturbances. And Fifth,
Yes, I will.
assemble the legislature. I want full authority for the coming crackdown.
And dirty my hands with your bad business?
Not on your life. Don't kid yourself, Dick. Your hands are as filthy as a child's after sandbox time. But don't worry. You'll be able to wash them soon enough. Wash them by the banks of the Rio del Rio. Now go. You, and you, come with me.
Why did I listen to that crook? Little Greg Castro really took. The telegram toilet made and they became an I must not! Why did I listen to that crook?
You lied to us, Gladwell! You told us one thing and you did another! That's what you did, Gladwell! That's what you did!
Come on, then, young Bobby. You can't keep screaming all the way down to Urinetown.
But hold! She's still with the others! What happens to me happens to her!
What happens to you happens to all of us sooner or later. Rather later than sooner, I'd say.
But not to hope! Oh, please, not to hope!
Now they finally got you. Now you're in our claws. Catch you in our city. Alone. There's no pride or jumping. Nothing to discuss. Now the Lord is speaking through us. You'll get your town. All we go to your town. Oh, everything to your town. Now no more fight.
Let go of me! I have to save hope!
There's no saving hope, Miss Pennywise.
There may be no saving you. Oh, no? Well, take that! Hair now!
Oh!
And a few of these. Why did I listen to that boy? But with hopes and dreams and buildings and sure. How can I know it's gonna be so different? Shows like his toy. Why did I listen to that boy?
So what's it like, this Urinetown that I've heard so much about? Perhaps it's better for us to show you.
The door's in front of you. Step through, and Urinetown awaits.
A door? It feels more like a railing. Pigeons? A rooftop?
And to drop. A decisive drop.
I guess I still don't understand.
Never fear.
I understand. Is it hair?
Welcome to the very gates of Urinetown itself.
Why did I listen to that cat? I went to work for him. He said he was so glad. I was looking at my book and I had. Why did I listen to
That road, this is Urinetown. This is Urinetown. You must go to Urinetown. Urinetown. Urinetown.
Wait a second. That's public amenity number 47. And the legislature building. And that's my boyhood home. What? We're standing on top of the UGC headquarters building. And this is our town.
Well, yes. Yes, it is.
But how can it be that we're in our town and you're in town at the same time? Unless, oh dear God, no!
Oh, we go there.
Oh, wait a second. You're just gonna throw me off this roof and that's supposed to be Urinetown? That is Urinetown?
That's one interpretation.
Yeah!
implies we killed the girl, right? That is the plan, isn't it?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, shall we? Little Sally, where's Bobby? What's going on? Yes. I saw Bobby. Yes. I don't think the meeting went very well. Why do you say that, little Sally? Well, they threw him off a building. What did you say? Who threw who off the building? Bobby. The policeman. They threw Bobby off the building. The police threw Bobby off the building?
They couldn't have done such a thing. We've got Gladwell's daughter.
Well, they did.
Is he all right?
Well, is he? Oh, Bobby! The policeman came soon enough, but not before I heard his last words.
His last word.
That's right. They were about her.
I'm going back down to give another look. You stay up here and guard the streets.
I've been meaning to ask, Mr. Loxley, do you ever have any doubts about what we've been doing about the killings and all?
You may surprise you to learn that sometimes I do. But the health and security of this town are my primary concern. I love the people of this community, Mr. Barrow, very much. Gladwell's edicts may be the only chance they have.
And I love you very much.
I see.
Well, that went pretty well.
What if I'm actually on my way to the airport right now and catch the last flight to Rio? What would you say to that?
Can I come? You may know from the racing, erasing, leave the night. Let their blood flow like Campari. We're not sorry. Say that flight.
Has a way of changing. You're too young to understand it now, but there really are more important things than love. Food, water, and shelter, for example.
And piles and piles of cash.
It wasn't just cash, Miss Pennywise. It was an awful lot of cash.
Sure.
Yes, Hope took over her father's company, instituting a series of reforms that opened the public bathrooms to everyone to pee for free whenever they liked, as much as they liked, for as long as they liked, with whomever they liked. The UGC was renamed the Bobby Strong Memorial Toilet Authority and was operated as a public trust for the benefit of the public.
Officer Longstop, where'd you go?
Just keep my head down, Sally. Something you should learn to do.
Aren't you afraid the rebels will see you?
Well, I may be a cop, Sally, but I'm also the narrator, so no one can touch me.
Not if they want to show it.
So many people peeing at will. Thanks to the rebellion, the world is a much better place.
Actually, Miss Clevel, your father permission to study at Waterloo.
My father was a tyrant. We need never fear him again. Justice is the only tyrant we need obey. Sisters, brothers, fight for the river. Fathers, mothers, babies too. All in the family, push toward the river. Shout toward the river. Why don't you step in the river, wade in the river, soak in the river, through and through. Once in the river, you are the river. Friends on the shoreline, jump into.
But it wasn't long before the water turned silty, brackish, and then dried up altogether. As cruel as Caldwell v. Clavell was, his measures effectively regulated water consumption, sparing this town the same fate as the phantom Urinetown. Hope chose to ignore the warning signs, however, choosing to bask in the people's love for as long as it lasted.
What kind of a musical is this? The good guys finally take over and then everything starts falling apart?
Well, like I said, little Sally, this isn't a happy musical.
But the music's so happy.
Yes, it is, little Sally. Yes, it is.
Such a fever. If only I had a cool glass of water, maybe then I'd have a fighting chance. Don't you see, Mrs. Strong? The glass of water's inside of you. It always has been. It has, sure. Don't you know what you are? A river. That's right. We all are. You are the river. I am the river. He is the river. She is too. All are the river, flowing for freedom, flowing for justice. Let's remember. We see a river flowing for freedom. We see a river just in you. We see a river flowing for freedom. You see a river straight and true. I don't think very many people are going to come see this musical, Officer Longstop.
Why do you say that, little Sally? Don't you think people want to be told that their way of life is unsustainable?
That? But the title's awful. Can't we do a happy musical next time?
If there is a next time, I'm sure we can. Well, that's our story. Hope eventually joined her father in a manner not quite so gentle. Mr. McQueen opened up a bottling factory just outside of Brasilia, which did rather well until the Amazon dried up. Then he moved. As for the people of this town, they did as best they could, but they were prepared for the world they inherited, weaned as they were on the legend born of their forefathers' scare tactics. But when the water finally dried up, they saw their town for the first time for what it really was, for what it was always waiting to be.